Alright people, what's up everyone, and welcome to another reaction video for today. And I'm here to take a look at a brand new Critical Drinker video. And I was just about to watch this myself, but I was like, yeah, why don't you do a reaction? Why not? Because I have similar feelings. This is Indiana Jones and the Destruction of Legacy. Now, I thought Dial of Destiny was not very good. I didn't like it. I did a whole video while I was in bed yesterday. And I put it up like as of recording like an hour ago, so go check it out. But I was half asleep, but I think I made it very clear what I didn't like about that movie. Maybe not very clear, but I said it, I think, at one point. So there was multiple things. My main problem was that Indiana Jones just didn't feel like Indiana Jones. He just felt like old Harrison Ford. Now Harrison Ford is still good, but he just doesn't, like, he plays old Harrison Ford pretty well, but it's not like there's a way of the way Indiana Jones speaks in other movies. It's just not here. Even when he's like early Indiana Jones or younger Indiana Jones in the beginning of the movie. But anyway, enough about me. Let's see what Critical Drinker thinks. Obviously, you thought a lot. It's almost a 12-minute video. So let's get to it. Link in the description. Go check it out yourself first. 3, 2, 1, and play.
It might surprise you to know this, but sometimes even the mighty Critical Drinker gets it wrong. Like with Prey, or Suicide Squad, or Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I've heard Dungeons and Dragons is great.
All of which turned out to be a lot better than I predicted from the trailers.
I really like Prey.
But then there's movies like Indiana
Wait, I didn't like the trailer for Prey?
Jones and the Dial Tone of Density, which proved to be exactly the kind of dumb, bloated, creatively bankrupt, nightmarish disasters I always said they'd be.
My favorite part was Sala.
Sometimes it really does suck to be right. Sitting through all 2.5 hours of this utter garbage was one of the most tedious, frustrating, and depressing experiences I've ever had in a cinema.
It was so dull. Him accepting that clock right there in the movie was me the entire movie. He's just like, thanks. That was pretty much me the entire fucking movie.
And I'm from Scotland. Put simply, Indiana Jones and the Dial-Up Internet of Depravity is an absolute embarrassment of a movie that shames not Dial-Up Internet of Depravity. Is an absolute embarrassment of a movie that shames not just the franchise, not just the genre, but the entire concept of filmmaking. It is a complete and utter waste of money and talent made by a shambling wreck of a studio that's basically the Hollywood equivalent of a junkie rifling through his truck.
A waste of James Mangold. I don't know what the fuck happened there. He should have been making like 2 other great movies, but he's making this fucking turd.
The hopes of finding one last forgotten stash. It is everything we predicted it would be, and much, much worse. So grab your battered fedora and arthritis meds, because we're going in one last time. Now, believe it or not, the first 15 minutes of dialysis of dysentery are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The action kicks off in World War II.
And I think it was just my theater, because I think it was I don't know, maybe it was just the theater itself, maybe the bulb or something. It was just really dim, but I'm looking at it here, and it's very much clearer than it was in my theater. It was a little too dark to see, but for the most part, it was really fun.
De-aged Indy is working behind enemy lines to recover the Spear of Destiny before it can get shipped back to Berlin. The spear turns out to be a fake in this case, but what isn't a fake is a piece of an ancient artifact known as the Dial of Destiny, built by our
one of 2 times he uses his whip, by the way.
Archimedes a couple of thousand years ago. A device rumoured to allow the user to travel through time itself. After a bit of fisticuffs, Indy ends up recovering half of the dial from a German scientist named Voller before heading back to America. The whole sequence is fun, action-packed, and the CGI on Harrison Ford is mostly pretty good.
Yeah, I would say it's like 50-50 for me. I can't tell if they just use CG or they use deepfake. I want to say it was probably both. I don't think it was Harrison Ford playing him, though, because the way he was moving doesn't... Even, like, old Indiana Jones, or old Harrison Ford, moved differently. Like, I felt like he was a little too agile, but also didn't quite get how Indy moves right. I don't know. I want to say it was somebody else.
Yeah, his face is slightly rubbery at times, and it's pretty obvious they set the whole thing at night to keep him in shadow as much as possible. Yeah. But for the most part, it kind of felt like an indie movie.
Alright, so he probably just upped the contract.
And that's where the good stuff ends, my friends. Brightness. Flash forward to 1969, and Indy is now a broken, depressed old man living alone.
I was surprised that they even, like, there wasn't a big, like, moment with younger Indiana Jones, you know what I mean? Like, to end it, and then it cuts to him being older. It was just like, alright, let's go home, and it cuts, and that's it. You don't even see his face when he says that,
New York apartment, divorced from Marion, about to retire from his job, and with nothing left to live for. No way! Fuck me,
right?
Lucasfilm, you're really scaling new heights of imagination when it comes to legacy male characters, aren't you? Yeah. All we need now is for some plucky young female character to come into his life and show him the way.
Thank God. The fuck is that?
Called it. This right here is Helena, yet another addition to the growing lineup of brunette.
I was blown away that she entered the movie and immediately I was like, okay, she's not that, well, not immediately, but she's not that, I was like, she's not that bad so far. And then there's literally like a switch that happens where it's revealed that she's actually just a fucking annoying piece of shit. And then the rest of the movie, except for maybe the last 30 minutes, she was insufferable. She was so unfunny and unlikable and annoying and just like belittling Indiana Jones. I'm just like, I don't want to see this. If you're going to do 80-year-old Indiana Jones, I don't want everybody to talk about how old he is and how much of a relic he is and how he's an awful person and stuff. Or like, I don't want to see it. I just don't. I'm sorry. You know, she, to be fair, she didn't go through that too much. She didn't say that stuff too much, but it's very obvious there must have been stuff that was, because this movie had reshoots, right? I'm sure he'll talk about it, but it feels like they probably got rid of some of that stuff. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, British.
Because she brings it up once about like how he's a grave robber, like that's only out for, or something like that. And I was just like, that was out of nowhere, considering you're fucking just doing it for money,
Flawless,
for yourself.
Idealized Kathleen Kennedy.
At least he puts the shit in the museum most of the time.
Self-inserts that are better than their aging male counterparts in every possible way. Jesus Christ, and they talk about the male ego. Anyway, Helena's idealized Kathleen Kennedy self-inserts that are better than their aging male counterparts in every possible way. Jesus Christ, and they talk about the male ego. Anyway, Helena's on the trail of the dial, and she wants Indy's help tracking it down. Luckily for her, it just so happens to be in the storeroom of Indy's university, but no sooner have they retrieved it than they get ambushed by Voller, who's now a scientist working for NASA.
I love she left him there to die, too. Fucking, I mean, I guess she wouldn't know they were Nazis at this point, or something.
But bails out and leaves Indy to fend for himself.
Right? See, 80-year-old man.
Turns out that all she really wanted to do was take the dial for herself so that she could auction it off for massive profits.
That's the second time he uses the whip, by the way.
You bastard.
There might have been another time. The movie started getting so fucking dull that maybe I missed it. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Luckily, though, Salah shows up and tells Indy that the auction is going to take place in a hotel in Tangiers so that the rest of the plot can happen. Wow, it's lucky that this hotel happens to be the only place on Earth where stolen antiques get bought and sold, and even more lucky that Indy's best friend just so happens to know about it. Shy,
yeah.
So he goes to Tangiers and Voller shows up too so that the rest of the plot can happen, and there's more fighting and a car chase that goes on about 15 minutes longer than it needs to.
It was really long. Like there's a point where it should have stopped. And they were like, we found another one. I'm like, oh fuck. And then the two morons get into that one and he's like, I got the broken one. I'll give the movie credit. At least they didn't like belittle him too much to the point where in all the action scenes he's not like doing anything. He is still doing stuff in the action, so I'll give it that, because like he catches up and pretty much saves the day, I guess.
Up and head to Greece to recover a tablet thing from a shipwreck that's going to show them.
God, it would have been so much better if it was short round. What if it was short round? He needed help, Indy's help for something. Maybe they went on more adventures after Temple of Doom that we never saw, because of course we've seen. There's so many adventures he went on we never saw. And maybe there was an adventure they went on where the dial or something, maybe Short Round wanted the dial, or just something else. The dial is fucking stupid anyway, especially the reveal towards the end. It's so fucking dumb, but I'm okay with dumb as long as like the rest of the movie's good.
The location of the other half of the dial. Why does all this feel like the plot for Rise of Skywalker all over again?
Oh yeah, they have to combine. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. You have to combine these two things, and I mean, it's just the object itself. But sure, yeah.
Again to ambush them. Right. How? Don't know. He just kind of teleports in whenever it's convenient for the plot.
Right? He 100% teleport, dude. The boat, it just randomly showed up to find them. I'm like, I mean, I understand he probably knew where the fucking thing was too when they were underwater getting the last half of the dial or whatever. Or not, the decoder thing, whatever.
Anyway, there's more fighting, and Indy and Helena escape with the tablet.
It felt so random and so inconvenient, of course.
Piece of the dial. And yet again, Voller and his men show up to intercept them. How? Well, hold on tight, because this just about made my brain explode.
Wait, did that scene happen in the movie?
Show up to intercept them. How?
I don't remember now. Is there ever a boulder part in the movie? Dude, my brain must have just went, pew. I don't remember the boulder.
Well, hold on tight, because this just about made my brain explode in the movie theater. It's because he grabbed a pair of binoculars and watched them.
Oh, that fucking scene was so stupid, because, alright, this is what happened. I want to explain it first, sorry. If you don't like it, whatever, it's my video. It's my reaction. This isn't my video. Go watch it yourself. When Voller shows up and gets them on the boat, Helena has a piece of dynamite. They use it to blow things up and leave. So they escape on another boat. The whole time, they're just watching this happen, like the Nazis, because none of them died. They're just watching this happen. They just, they float away, and he's like watching with binoculars. But then they cut away to them talking, and of course Helena has to make a joke out of it, even though at that point Indy just lost one of his friends, who was Antonio Banderas, which made it even worse that she was making jokes about it. Because I love Indiana, I love Indiana Jones also, but I love Antonio Banderas. And then like it cuts back like a solid 5 minutes later, and fucking Mads Mikkelsen, Voller's like, they're going this way, not the other way, which makes sense in context, but it's just like, what the fuck were you doing for like 5 minutes? You're just watching them as they were flying away, as they were doing their little bit? Like, I don't know.
Escaped the boat ambush, and because they weren't heading in the direction they claimed to be, he magically knew exactly what they were planning and where to find them.
Well, no, I think that part made sense, because she said only a couple different places it could be, right? So if he figured they're going west or east or whatever, I think they're going west or east, I don't remember, because the movie's fucking dull. But they're going a different direction, pretty much the opposite of where the thing she said it was. So I guess he just, well, in that direction is the other city. I guess, oh, fuck it. Whatever, I don't care. It's fucking stupid.
Seriously, fuck off, film. Anyway, so they finally get the second piece of the dial, and of course Voller teleports in to intercept them, and oh no, Indy gets shot, and I guess he's dying now, but the movie never seems to be entirely clear about that.
Hero Man gets shot right here. He's fine.
Door, but then at others he's able to fight and move like he's...
Oh! 3 times he uses his whip. Never mind. I apologize.
Full health.
Wait, no, that was the same one. No, never mind. So no, that's still 2.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I already forgot while I was watching this.
I mean, given how many times this movie was rewritten and reshot, I'd be willing to bet that the fucking filmmakers didn't even know for sure. Anyway, let's see if we can finish this shit sandwich. So Voller's plan is to use the dial to go back to 1939 and change the course of the war so that Germany wins. But unfortunately, it takes them all back 2,000 years to the time of Archimedes in the middle of a huge battle with the Roman army. So there's yet more fighting, and the plane crashes, and Indy and Helena survive, and he...
Just remembering that he's gonna talk about it.
He asks to stay in the past.
There's no way he's not gonna talk about this scene.
Die there, but then Helena says, "Nah, it'll be fine," and knocks him out and takes him back to 1969
that annoyed
against
me too.
his will. And then Marion shows up in a scene that feels about as natural and tonally consistent as Pennywise the Clown in an episode of Sesame Street. And then the movie just...
Wait, what? I'm sorry, I'm confused by that one. Feels a... Oh, I get you, because it's all goofy bullshit, and then they have a really like dramatic scene at the end, I guess, maybe, because it's the tonal clash, I think you mean.
Just kind of stops, like it can't think of anything else to do, so it basically just shuffles off the stage. And that's it. That's the plot for Dialect of Dundee.
Which makes me truly believe that the ending was definitely reshot. Because it just like, this is supposed to be the closure, and it didn't feel like closure. It felt like they just, because if you think about it, all they did was get rid of Mutt, but now they're together again, and he's happy, which is exactly what happened at the end of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, except he had Mutt. So he was actually happier at the end of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a better ending for Indiana Jones than this fucking movie. It is, because this one, he's like a sad fuck, and then at the end, he's... You know, he has a nice moment with Marion. but like he got married at the end of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and he had a son, and he was happy. It felt like Indiana Jones ending, kind of. Maybe not the wedding part, but it just had like a Spielbergian vibe to it. I haven't seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in a very long time, but and honestly, I'd rather not watch it again. But I don't know.
What a fucking incomprehensible calamity of a film this is. I mean,
I'd be not going to talk about my favorite scene where they start shooting Roman soldiers. Oh my god. The Nazis just randomly just start, oh, fuck these guys, while they're in an airplane. Oh, high above, just start shooting Roman soldiers because they they shot an arrow at the plane or whatever. It was the goofiest looking shit.
Fine if I said I went into it expecting great things, but Jesus fuck mother in Christ, this was worse than anything I could have imagined. For a start, it's sluggish and horribly paced, running at least 30 minutes too long and built around a protracted...
Why does every movie need to be 2.5 hours long? Why? Why?
You're never entirely sure what the characters are trying to do or why, and after a while you pretty much stop caring. Fight scenes are weirdly sluggish, clumsy and badly edited. There's no sense of energy or excitement to any of it, and there's multiple vehicle chases that drag on for like 15 minutes each. The first 3 indie movies...
And you can't even blame, and you shouldn't, Harrison Ford for being too old to do a lot of the action, because a lot of the action in the movie doesn't involve him having to be super physical anyway. So, like, a lot of it involves, like, cars and stuff, you know, like the airplane and whatever, parachuting and stuff. You could totally get a body double to do that, or, you know, CG, which is what they do. It's just fucking... There's no excuse. You can't, like, I would love to hear them excuse, well, you know, Harrison was old, we couldn't do a lot of the action that we used to be able to do. I would love to see that complaint, or excuse, because it's bullshit. It's 100% bullshit. Most of the time, the only time he really exerts himself too much, like super, like a lot, is that horse sequence. Because before that, he's like running and like, ooh, you know? And maybe a little bit in the car chase because he's like leaning and stuff, but that's about it, you know?
Delivered brilliantly crafted, inventive, and impactful action
Look how good that looks.
You just went to pull back and give the audience
Look how good that
a break,
explosion
but
looks.
this one never does.
Great camera
Combined with sloppy CGI,
like
they're
shit.
more of a chore to get through than an exciting change of pace. And you can
That's like probably the best looking effect, actually.
Absolutely tell that this movie was butchered in the editing bay, reshot and recut multiple times in a desperate attempt to make it work. The result is a hodgepodge of different ideas, plot lines, and aborted character arcs that just kind of meander along with no real sense.
Antonio Banderas definitely had a bigger role in one cut. There's no way, because he literally shows up. You see his face twice. He says maybe two lines of dialogue, and then he's dead. And we're supposed to feel bad because he died. And like, oh no, dude, Indiana lost a friend that we never heard of until now, which is fine. That's fine. It's also been like 20 years or something close to that since Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Well, maybe not that long, but whatever.
Progression or development. And as for the ending, it's like they ran out of time and ideas altogether and just had to go with whatever they could cobble together. There's no sense of dramatic payoff here, of carefully developed character arcs getting drawn together into a final fitting conclusion. It's just a rushed and nonsensical, everyone's happy now so deal with it kind of ending. It's no better on the character front either.
He has more screen time in the fucking trailer.
The antagonist...
I think Salah might have more screen time than fucking Antonio Banderas.
Are incompetent and
dude, what a waste of Boyd Holbrook too. I really like that actor. He was completely wasted.
Comically useless, and the only reason they keep getting the drop on Indy is because he's equally stupid, and because they can teleport in anywhere they want so that the plot can happen. Voller is a complete non-entity who never comes across as even remotely threatening or interesting.
There's a couple moments where I'm like, okay, he's doing a little bit of something here. Also, the de-aging on Mads Mikkelsen did not look good.
Mads Mikkelsen is a great actor,
yes,
but any actor is only as good as the script they have to work with,
and
I've sharted out better.
He did a good job with what he had, I guess.
Things than this script. Teddy was clearly intended to be a replacement for Short Rounds. Well, if you stripped away...
I didn't hate Teddy. It's just, he was pointless. Also, there's a scene with an airplane towards the end, and I'm just like... fucking what? And it's like...
all of his personality.
The entire time I was watching, I was just like, what's happening? He just said he can't fly, and now he's flying it perfectly fine. Like, I mean, he moves a little bit or something. I guess there is that one point where he's just like, Fuck it.
Charm, and likability. He's there as a kind of sidekick to Helena who can do whatever the plot needs him to, including flying a plane. And I'm not kidding, there's literally a conversation where Helena asks him if he knows how to fly a
Right? That fucking blew my mind. All right, let me...
And I'm not kidding, there's literally a conversation where Helena asks him if he knows how to fly a Cessna, and he replies that he's never flown one before, and then she replies that he's never flown any plane before.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That doesn't... No, I wasn't even going to say that. I was going to say because he's never flown one before and then he flies it pretty well. I didn't even think about that. That doesn't even make... That makes no fucking sense. Why would you ask then? You know he hasn't flown a plane. I love Mandy.
Why the fuck did you even ask him then, you absolute Cornish pasty? Jesus, did anyone...
I didn't even think about that until he just played... Or no, he didn't play the dialogue, but he recited it. I didn't even think about it. I was just thinking about, like, you never... I was, like, half asleep. I'm not gonna lie. That movie was fucking boring, man. That was, like, the 2-hour mark. I was like, just end, please.
Before they performed it. But by far the worst offenders are the two leads. I actually had second-hand embarrassment for Harrison Ford watching him labouring away on screen in a movie that clearly resented his very presence. Make no mistake, this is not the Indiana Jones that any of us remember. This absolute imposter is timid, gullible, naive, sad, depressed, weak, cowardly, clueless, and incompetent. I am fucking sick to death of these absolute brainlets posing as
I agree with most of those things.
Whose only possible outcome to getting older
I thought it would be way worse.
A depressed, lonely failure who's given up on life.
Why? Why is every movie like that now? I swear to God, not one movie can have a successful marriage too, by the way. Like, no, we divorced or whatever, or we broke up or whatever. Dude, no matter how much I don't like the last Jurassic Park movie, or Jurassic World movie, I was surprised when they made it so that Sam Neill and fucking Laura Dern got back together. I was like, because that was the one thing I always hated about Jurassic Park 3. I'm like, why the fuck did they not... Dude, Jurassic Park 1? Come on, man. And then Jurassic Park 3, they're like, nah, I married somebody else. I'm like, what? I mean, I guess there was an age gap. It was a little weird. But now it's fine. Whatever, fuck. They're both like the same age somehow. I don't know how that happened. They're both 80 years old. Wait, hold on. We're like 20 years different, and now we're the same age. How's that happen?
For a studio to hate the very characters that allow them to exist in the first place. And this being a Disney Lucasfilm movie, there's obviously an obligatory strong female character shoehorned into the story, trying desperately to leech off the popularity.
I don't care about strong female character. I would rather have a strong female character than her. She looks so smug there too. This is actually a point in the movie where I didn't hate her, because this is before she reveals that she's a shithead.
They have the legacy character they're supposed to replace. And of course she's smarter and stronger and more resourceful than him. Of course she wins every argument.
Well, I hope she's stronger than him. He's fucking 80 years old. Like, go on.
Right about everything and saves the day multiple times. Because what else could she possibly be in a modern Disney movie? The problem, though, is that the script has no idea what to do with her.
I would have accepted that more if they made it very clear that she's like super clear that she's a piece of shit, because she is. And the thing that happens with her character, like right there, there was like a mobster or whatever that she pretended to love and didn't, obviously for money or some shit. Whatever. it was very... Yeah,
or what kind of person it really wants her to be. Is she a cold and callous mercenary, a compassionate and loyal friend, a seductive femme fatale, a lovable con artist trying to scrape by, a quirky joker? The movie doesn't know, so it tries to make her a bit of everything, with no real overarching trajectory or motivation, and the results are as meandering and pointless as the rest of the movie. It doesn't really help that Phoebe Waller-Bridge doesn't have the acting range or the qualities needed to play a character like this.
I've heard she's great in Fleabag. I never watched it, but I didn't think she was bad in this at all. I just thought her character was extremely annoying.
She's not charismatic enough.
Did she write part of this? Because I know she was like a co-writer for No Time to Die.
Adventurer. Right? She's not charming enough to be a rogue. She's not attractive enough to be a femme fatale, and she's not funny enough to be called. She throws punches with all the finesse and expertise of
what?
In his first boxing match. And
Oh shit! God damn.
She's not attractive enough to be a femme fatale, and she's not funny enough to be comic relief. She throws punches with all the finesse and expertise of Boogie in his first boxing match, and she runs...
You don't want to be Boogie, you want to at least be Wings.
It's like a retarded giraffe. All
God damn.
Uncoordinated limbs and awkward flat-footed strides. The only time she acted...
Like, I was actually surprised by how spry Harrison Ford was.
Limbs and
like, look at him, like, doing this shit. He's 80 years old. Well, when they were filming this, well, actually, no. He's 80 right now, and they probably did reshoots not too long ago. So maybe some of this is reshoots. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's just, hey, it's just a number. 80, 78. I mean, you're going to be the same shit. You old as fuck, bro. And him, like, running and, like, there's a part in not the beginning, but right after the 15 to 20 minute little action scene in the beginning with younger Indiana Jones, where he has his shirt off. And I was just like, oh, I was expecting like a fucking, like a hairy ass chest and a gut and like, you know, like an old man body. And I mean, it is, but I was like, oh, all right, well, he's not in terrible shape considering he's fucking 80. By the way, rest in peace, Alan Arkin. I was just thinking about Alan Arkin. He just passed away. I was just thinking about old men.
At home in the role is when she's pretending to be an earnest, geeky bookworm to con Indy into helping her. And honestly, you probably could have done something with a character like that if you were willing to give her...
I actually didn't mind her there. I was like, oh, okay. Because I heard all of people like talking shit about her in some of the reviews. And I'm like, so far this is okay, but I know I already watched the clip with the car chase that she's not going to be like this the entire movie. And then it's revealed that she's just a shithead.
Proper art.
And then at the end she becomes more of a human or like an actual person, you know, not some asshole. But then she knocks out Indy and brings him, which I get. I don't know why Indy was just like, I'm going to stay here. Like I get he loves history, but he loves history because it's history. If you stay here, it's not going to be history anymore. You'll be a part of history, but I guess. But he likes whatever. He likes learning about history. I would assume if you're big into history, sure, you probably like to see history fold out in front of you, of course. But would you love to be a part of? And when I say a part of it, I don't mean like you'll be remembered or anything. You'll just be there when it happens the entire time. I would assume a lot of history majors or history people like to learn about the history more so in multiple different. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
Ultimately,
but I understand he just wanted to stay because he didn't have anything left, you know.
By the time this movie,
which they could have made it so he had plenty left. He could have had a son. He could have had grandkids at this point. He could have had his wife, but they made it so that he divorced his wife. His son died because Shia LaBeouf is a sex pervert, or allegedly. And I'm not even sure allegedly. I don't even follow that shit anymore. I don't fucking care. But and just made him, I don't know, made him a sad fuck throughout the entire movie.
Finally ended. My only real thought was, well, that's it then. That's it over. Not just the film, not just the character of Indiana Jones, but in a bigger sense, the very legacy of George Lucas himself. This was it. This was the last property left for them to destroy, and destroy it they did.
They could make a Monkey Island. I was thinking of Lucas. Just Lucas Arts, I guess, or just Lucas period. They could fuck that up, I guess.
Cupboards are bare.
There was a good Monkey Island game that came out recently, so you at least got that. And we got some good Star Wars games coming out. I hope the Indiana Jones game is good. Would that be amazing if the Indiana Jones game comes out and it is Harrison Ford just one more time and he's just like, fuck this movie, I'm gonna do this, and it's a great game. It's a great Indiana Jones experience. I'm still looking forward to that. I'm actually probably looking forward to that more now. Because it's machine games, and I love machine games, even though we can forget about Youngblood. I know a lot of people don't like Wolfenstein 2. I really liked it, but I get it. Wow, this is a long video. I'm sorry.
They've consumed literally everything that was built up by their predecessors, and now there's nowhere left.
Oh, Gory turned the 12-minute video into a 30-minute video. What? What? You should just sit there like a drone and just watch the video. This will be me for the rest of the video. Hold on, I'll do a reenactment. Here we go.
Property left for them to destroy, and destroy it they did. The cupboards are bare now. They've consumed literally everything that was built up by their predecessors, and now there's nowhere left for them to hide.
Is that good? Is that what people want from reaction videos? I don't know. Is it do people like reaction videos because it feels like they're being babysat while watching a video? Oh, look, there's somebody there. Oh, boy, I can watch this video now. Well, because there's somebody there to comfort me. I don't want them to talk, though. I just like to have their presence seen. You know, if you don't like it, that's why they tell you how long the video is already before you watch it. And also to the people that, hey, this is just for the people that made it through and are just like, finally it's over. I'm just shitting on them now. For people that complain about like long intros, first of all, there's so many reactors I watch that have like 7-8 minute intros. So I don't even want to hear that shit. I have a 2, sometimes 3 minute intro before I get to the video. There's this thing, you see this little red thing right here? You can go to any point in the video you want. So, and look, it even shows you a preview. Look at this. Wow, if I want to see Indy on a fucking horse. Awkward ass on a horse. Oh, wow, and you can see when the reaction starts. This video right here, you can check it out. You know? So that's for the people that complain about the intros. If you complain that I pause too much like I am right now, this long pause right now is for you. So I got something you can suck on. I don't have anything you actually suck on. I was trying to do a bit where it wasn't what you think I'm pointing at, but I don't have anything here that you can suck on. So I guess you're just gonna have to suck on this. Oh, sorry.
There's no excuses left to make. This movie is absolutely going to crash and burn, and it deserves to, because maybe then it'll finally force them to accept
it's going to make $60 million in its opening weekend. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull did $100 million. And that's not even including the 5-day weekend. 5-day weekend did $151 million. One of the biggest openings of all time at the time. 5-day weekends. It was like in the top 10 of five. This is not even going to... This might be like the Flash levels of bomb. Actually, it's going to be bigger most likely because like the Flash cost $200 million, right? This cost $300 million. Where the fuck did that movie go? It must have been all the fucking reshoots. It must have been. Like, I wonder how much the budget was originally. Was it like an Indiana Jones movie shouldn't be any bigger than 100 and maybe 150 million. Maybe. But even that, like, if you're doing practical stuff, dude, you could do so much. Like, look at John Wick Chapter 4. That movie looks amazing, has so much great action, terrific cinematography, choreography that's fucking top tier. That movie cost $100 million, man. 1/3 of the budget of this fucking movie. And it was longer than this movie. And it had more action. Sure, it didn't have Harrison Ford. He probably took a big check. But, you know, Keanu Reeves probably doesn't take a huge check compared to Harrison Ford. But, like, people want to see John Wick. No one wants to see this movie. They would if it looked good. And it looked like an Indiana Jones movie. No one wants to see it, though. I'm sorry. I didn't want to see it. I watched it because fuck it, I guess.
They are not creators. They are not capable of making great things like their predecessors did. They're not even capable of making mediocre things. They are destroyers, not creators. And when you run out of things to destroy, well, eventually you'll be next. Anyway,
the Kathleen Kennedy
that's
movie?
all I've got for today.
Such a good...
away now.
Oh, aggressive ass. That's the perfect thing to have right after.
Eventually you'll be next. Anyway, that's all I've got.
This is the perfect ending. The Last Crusade. Him and his dad, Sala there. Into the sunset.
Got for today.
Perfect.
Go away now.
Can we just pretend these two movies didn't happen? Like, honestly, I don't even mind Kingdom of the Crystal Skull's ending. Like, that was a nice ending for Indy. All right, cool. He's happy. He's married to Marianne. He has a son. The alien thing. Like, if you just replace all the alien shit with, like, I don't know, even the dial, I guess. Dial's stupid, too. Like, I don't know. No. Anyway, there we go. That's Indiana Jones and the Destruction of Legacy. I made that video about about 3 times longer than it actually was. But, you know, I have to pause. You know what's funny? Right before I started the video, though, I was like, I'm not going to pause that much. In my brain, I was like, I'm not going to pause that much. But then I was just like, I got to talk. So, it was a great video, though. Shout out to Critical Drinker. Anyway. And I agree. I like how he sounded legit angry in this one. Like, a lot of the videos I watch from him about things like Indiana Jones and like Disney shit pieces, usually it's just like, he's angry, but, you know, he sounds calm. But in this one, like, especially, you can tell he's not happy. He's legitimately not happy. It's just $300 million. I'm blown away. That's like almost the size of the Avatar 2 budget. Like, I don't. That's what they reported at least. It was an Avatar 2's budget like 350. That's $50 million less, and this movie looks about 50 times worse than Avatar 2. You can say what you will about Avatar 2. At least it looked awesome. Like, it looked amazing. This looks like shit most of the time. It looks like... It looks mediocre for most of the time. I'm talking about the CG and stuff. And then it looks like okay during the young Indiana Jones sequences. And then it looks really bad throughout a lot of it. Like... Anyway, that's it. Bye.